The street code of get them before they get you may have finally caught up with Big U, as he now faces a murder charge and continues to be haunted by street rumors tying him to Nipsey Hussle's death. A recently surfaced clip has only intensified the buzz, with many believing he may have unknowingly implicated himself. Federal investigators claim to have concrete evidence, what they're calling receipts, raising questions about whether Big U just confirmed what they've suspected all along, or if the public is jumping to conclusions. With everything coming to a head, this might just be the last time I speak on the situation. I'm turning myself in. That's what he said, and yes, he followed through. But don't be too quick to assume it's all straightforward. The situation runs deeper than a simple surrender. Let's unpack the layers behind the headlines, the accusations, the tension, and the legal storm swirling around Big U. At the center of it all is perhaps the most serious claim, the 2021 killing of Rayshawn Williams, a 21-year-old up-and-coming rapper who was reportedly part of Big U's own UE music roster. Williams was just beginning to carve out his path in the industry, and now his name sits at the heart of one of the most troubling allegations Big U has faced to date. Court filings paint a grim picture. Rayshawn Williams was allegedly shot in the head, his body later discovered abandoned in a ditch off I-15 in North Las Vegas. The suspected motive? Word on the street is, Williams may have ignited tensions by releasing a diss track aimed at Big U, an artistic jab that may have led to deadly consequences. Now, federal investigators say they're sitting on some serious evidence tying Big U to the crime scene. That includes cell phone data placing him near the area at the critical moment, along with digital footprints suggesting there was an effort to erase surveillance footage. Investigators are also accusing Big U of pressuring witnesses to stay silent when authorities started asking questions. That alleged intimidation is now a key piece of the RICO charges that came down on him in March 2025, with the Williams murder sitting at the core of the case. But the controversy doesn't stop there. Another explosive accusation has the internet, especially the gram, buzzing, whispers of Big U's possible link to Nipsey Hussle's 2019 killing. Even though Eric Holder was convicted for pulling the trigger, some still believe the full story hasn't been told, and Big U's name keeps surfacing in the background of that tragedy. The whispers haven't quieted down. If anything, they're getting louder, especially with rapper SKG stepping into the spotlight and making bold claims. She's pointing fingers directly at Big U, alleging he masterminded Nipsey Hussle's death over unresolved business tensions, and SKG isn't holding back. During her candid appearance on No Jumper, she doubled down, stating flat out that Big U played a role in the tragedy. According to her, there are plenty of people who believe it too, but fear keeps them from speaking up. I'll say it for you. He was involved. That's how far SKG went in her No Jumper interview, pushing her claims even harder. She didn't just suggest Big U had a hand in Nipsey Hussle's death, she laid out personal history to back it. According to her, their tension runs deep, pointing to a past incident where Big U allegedly assaulted her while she was pregnant, with Nipsey present. She painted a picture of a man who felt untouchable, asserting dominance across Crenshaw. SKG went on to say she's heard detectives are considering reopening Nipsey's case, and she's urging them to dig deep, confident that the truth will surface if the investigation is thorough. Still, despite the intensity of her accusations, it's important to note that there are no official charges or confirmed evidence tying Big U to Nipsey's murder. So far, it's all speculative and unproven. Big U has consistently pushed back against any claims tying him to Nipsey Hussle's death, firmly denying involvement in multiple public interviews, most notably on Vlad TV in 2019 and again during a 2021 appearance on Drink Champs. While rumors continue to swirl and some sources hint that the district attorney's office might be weighing a closer look at Nipsey's case, as of May 2025, no official confirmation has been made. In the Drink Champs interview, Big U spoke candidly about his relationship with Nipsey, insisting there was never any beef between them. He recalled a conversation where Nip approached him and he responded with, "Man, what are we going to do? I don't want to be caught up in any more drama." According to Big U, the exchange ended on a positive note, with both agreeing to stay in their lanes and keep moving forward. He emphasized that their bond was one of mutual respect, not rivalry. Big U has stood firm in defending his name, repeatedly stressing that his relationship with Nipsey Hussle was solid right up until the very end. He pointed to his support for Nipsey's debut album Victory Lap, specifically the track Ain't No Rap, as proof of that bond, noting how he actively promoted the project across his social platforms long before it became a cultural landmark. He's been vocal about what he sees as latecomers jumping on the Nipsey legacy, who were never truly part of the journey. When it comes to the murder of Rayshawn Williams, Big U has consistently maintained his innocence, even as he surrendered to authorities on the sweeping RICO charges connected to the case. Big U has publicly pushed back against the avalanche of accusations, releasing videos where he denies all wrongdoing and claims he's being targeted, not for crimes, but for his efforts in the community. "This is what it costs to be black and try to make a difference," he said, arguing that he's being vilified simply because some people don't like him and have the power of the internet to shape narratives. "They say whatever they want online, and y'all just run with it," he added. Still, despite his denials, the legal machinery has kept moving. As of May 2025, Big U remains behind bars, with his case still in the pretrial phase. The 43-count federal indictment against him is heavy, stacked with charges including racketeering, fraud, extortion, and murder. If convicted, he's looking at the possibility of spending the rest of his life in prison. The roots of this legal saga trace back to an FBI probe into the Rollins 60s neighborhood Crips that began around 2020, marking the beginning of a long and complex battle Big U now finds himself at the center of. On March 19, 2025, federal prosecutors unsealed a sweeping indictment against Big U and 18 others, accusing them of orchestrating a complex mafia-style criminal enterprise. The very next day, Big U surrendered to authorities and made his first court appearance, where he entered a not guilty plea and was ordered to remain in custody. In a video released just before turning himself in, Big U stood firm, denying the allegations and casting doubt on the credibility of the case against him, insisting he's innocent despite the serious charges looming overhead. By March 19, 2025, federal authorities hit Big U and 18 others with charges accusing them of running a mafia-style operation. The very next day, Big U turned himself in and faced court, pleading not guilty, but ordered to remain in custody. In a pre-surrender video, he questioned the case's legitimacy, expressing disbelief over arrests of people he barely knows. By March 27th, the indictment had ballooned to 43 counts, including racketeering, fraud, robbery, extortion, tax evasion, and embezzlement. Prosecutors allege Big U's enterprise exploited his reputation and gang ties to pressure businesses and individuals, even misusing over $2 million from a city gang reduction program through his nonprofit, Developing Options. Big U maintains he's being targeted because of his community efforts, not criminal acts, lamenting raids on his homes and businesses with no real basis. On April 8th, he entered not guilty pleas to all charges, and as of early May, the case remains in pretrial with no major updates. This sprawling case involves 19 defendants accused of everything from drug trafficking to murder, painting a portrait of a sophisticated criminal network hiding behind legitimate ventures. Public opinion is split. Some view Big U as a victim of systemic oppression aimed at successful black men trying to uplift their communities, while others see the charges as confirmation of long-simmering rumors about his darker dealings. Before, the legal storm, Eugene Big U Henley Jr., was building a powerful legacy that stretched from the streets of South Central LA to the music industry's boardrooms. Growing up amidst the dangers of the rolling 60s neighborhood Crips, Big U rose as a respected OG and shot caller, his influence extending well beyond his block. In his own words from the documentary Big U, The Real DBO Rolling 60s, he described, "A brutal environment where survival meant following a harsh code. Get them before they get you." Back then, his reputation as a fighter was key. Guns hadn't yet taken over the streets, and physical presence mattered. One longtime friend recalls Big U was already feared for his toughness as a teenager. His gang life eventually led to a 13-year prison sentence in the early 90s. That period became a turning point as he showed leadership inside, uniting inmates and organizing events like Juneteenth celebrations. Upon release around 2004, Big U shifted gears, strategically leveraging his street credibility to launch a career managing artists like Corrupt and the iconic Nipsey Hussle. He worked hard to keep talents like Corrupt focused on music, steering them away from street troubles. Beyond music, Big U expanded into film production, writing and producing movies like Force of Execution and executive producing the FX docuseries Hip Hop Uncovered, where he shared his story and influence. Surprisingly, Big U also became deeply involved in community activism. Through his nonprofit Developing Options, he helped over 150 youth get into college and worked to curb gang violence, emphasizing economic opportunities by advocating for hiring local Black workers in film projects. This dual identity, a street-savvy gangster turned business and community leader, made Big U a complex figure, adept at navigating vastly different worlds. Standing 6'3" and weighing nearly 300 pounds, Big U's physical stature was as imposing as his street smarts. His upbringing included martial arts training, which instilled discipline and strategy. Despite his tough exterior, he spoke fondly of his neighborhood, cherishing the tight-knit community and family bonds that shaped him. Yet, the line between his past and present blurred. While presenting himself as a reformed man creating opportunities, whispers about his ongoing involvement in illicit activities lingered. A controversial aspect of his reputation involved a so-called check-in culture, where artists, athletes, and entertainers allegedly had to get his approval and pay up to enter certain LA territories. The federal complaint alleges Big U leveraged his gang connections to extort businesses and individuals, with claims extending even to food vendors near Crenshaw High School. Rapper Loose Cannon publicly shared that celebrities like Rick Ross and Meek Mill were reportedly forced to drop $50,000 just to keep their nights going at local clubs. Hip-hop artist SKG has been especially vocal, detailing her experiences with Big U. She recalled introducing him and Nipsey Hussle to influential industry contacts and accused Big U of trying to take credit for her work. When she resisted his control, SKG alleges Big U physically assaulted her at Nipsey's shop, leading to severe personal and professional fallout. She lost her job, her home, cars, and was forced to relocate for her safety. Big U's story is one of stark contrasts between redemption and suspicion, influence and intimidation, community upliftment and criminal allegations. His journey underscores the complex realities of navigating power and legacy in the intersecting worlds of hip-hop, street culture, and activism. SKG says Big U didn't just take from her music, events, and brand. He completely stripped her of everything she built. She also claims that his pressure didn't stop there. After she got out of jail, she received word that Big U allegedly put a hit out on her. A few people warned her, including Monique Slaughter. When asked if she felt afraid, SKG's response showed her resilience. She refuses to live in fear, having endured years of struggle with him. These accusations paint a picture not just of isolated incidents, but of a calculated, systematic effort by Big U to control territory and squeeze profit from those around him. The so-called check-in culture that Big U is accused of enforcing echoes similar territorial control systems seen in other cities. However, the federal indictment paints his operation as especially complex and expansive. On Drink Champs, Detroit rapper Trick Trick, known for maintaining strict no-fly zones, explains the idea behind controlling turf in hip-hop. Even if someone isn't personally known, conflicts can arise simply because of affiliations. What sets Big U's alleged scheme apart, according to the charges, is how methodically the extortion was carried out, and how deeply it was woven into legitimate business fronts, creating a far more sophisticated network than typical street-level enforcement. In addition to allegations of extortion and violence, Big U faces accusations of deceiving NBA stars such as Draymond Green and Shaquille O'Neal by convincing them to contribute to his charitable causes, only to divert those funds into his own pockets. Notably, a $20,000 donation from a current NBA All-Star on August 20, 2019, and another $20,000 check from a former NBA MVP on September 21, 2022, saw $15,000 funneled directly into Henley's personal accounts, raising serious questions about the true intentions behind these philanthropic gestures. These claims portray Big U as a figure whose reach stretched well beyond legitimate ventures, weaving a web of influence rooted in coercion and dominance. The allegations reveal a pattern of control that didn't just operate on the streets, but penetrated the realms of entertainment and business alike. Yet, despite the gravity of these accusations, Big U cultivated a public persona of a reformed former gang leader who had successfully shifted his focus to legitimate enterprises and community upliftment. Through his nonprofit, Developing Options, Big U painted himself as a committed advocate offering youth in South Los Angeles a way out of gang life. This stark contrast, community champion on one side and alleged racketeer on the other, crafted a layered and complicated image that now faces unraveling under serious federal allegations. According to the indictment, these seemingly legitimate efforts, including Developing Options, were allegedly just a facade concealing a network of criminal enterprises. In a video recorded just before surrendering, Big U fiercely rejects the accusations aimed at him. He expresses disappointment over claims that he misused funds from Developing Options, emphasizing that the nonprofit wasn't a front. It was his lifeline, covering his family's bills and mortgage. Behind the scenes, though, former associates whisper about a vast and intricate network Big U allegedly built across Los Angeles. From clubs to studios, gyms to other hotspots where celebrities and athletes congregate, this web of informants supposedly kept him instantly updated whenever a high-profile visitor arrived, ensuring they received the invitation to check in with him. The way Big U managed his operation was nothing short of masterful, a strategic playbook that helped him maintain control for years, even under the watchful eyes of those around him. And SKG isn't the only one painting a picture of a man with a fierce edge. Others have stepped forward, sharing stories of witnessing his aggressive side firsthand. Standing at an imposing 6'3" and tipping the scales near 300 pounds, his sheer presence alone was often enough to make people think twice before challenging him, cross him, and according to insiders, the fallout was swift and severe, ranging from wrecked reputations to outright threats of violence. Big U's grip on his turf echoed the old-school mob playbook, reminiscent of how Italian mafias or black organized crime in the 70s controlled neighborhoods, offering protection for a price. What set him apart, though, was the way he allegedly wove this street-level authority seamlessly into legitimate ventures across entertainment and sports, creating a tangled web that blurred the lines between business and underworld power. This intricate structure made it difficult for authorities to gather definitive evidence for a long time, allowing the enterprise to operate largely unchecked. However, the introduction of RICO, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, charges marked a pivotal shift in the legal battle. Unlike traditional charges that target isolated incidents or individuals, RICO allows prosecutors to view the operation as a whole, a coordinated criminal enterprise with interconnected activities and members. This approach enables the legal system to connect disparate events, demonstrating a pattern of illegal conduct rather than fragmented acts. For Big U and his associates, this meant that years of suspicion and investigations could be tied together into a comprehensive case, increasing the likelihood of convictions on multiple counts. Ultimately, the gendered aspects of this story highlight not only the personal risks faced by women within such power structures, but also the broader social challenges tied to entrenched inequalities and abuse of authority. Meanwhile, the legal developments reflect evolving strategies to dismantle complex criminal networks that intertwine legitimate and illicit enterprises. The Big U case, therefore, serves as a stark reminder of how power, crime, and gender intersect, and how addressing these issues requires both courageous testimony and innovative legal tools. Regardless of how the courts decide, Big U's saga leaves a lasting impression. His story is bigger than one man. It sparks vital conversations about race, power, hustle, and survival. It's complicated and messy, but it shines a light on the systems people navigate and sometimes exploit to hold on to influence in America. Today, catch you next time. Don't forget to tap the boxes on your screen for more deep dives and stories that matter.